Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting episode of our podcast. It is so wonderful to have you join me today. I hope you are somewhere comfortable, maybe at home, on your way to school, or just relaxing with your family. Today's topic is a little journey that takes us all over the world and even into the future. We will be exploring cities and nature and how people, animals, and plants can share our planet in a healthy way. Our theme is cities and nature, and how together we can create a sustainable future. Let us imagine for a moment. Close your eyes if you like. Picture a big city like Tokyo, New York, London, or Shanghai. What do you see? Maybe tall buildings, busy streets, cars, buses, trains, stores, and lots of people. Maybe there are stoplights blinking, horns honking, and big signs everywhere. The city is full of energy and life, always moving and changing. Now, let's change the picture in our minds. Imagine a quiet forest or a green park. There are tall trees, singing birds, and the soft sound of wind in the leaves. Maybe you see a stream or a pond, with ducks or fish. The air smells fresh and it feels calm and peaceful. Nature is alive too, but in a different, quieter way. What if I told you that cities and nature are not as separate as they seem? That even in the heart of the busiest city, nature is all around us, trying to find a way to live together with people? And what if I said that, for our Earth to be healthy for a long time, we need to find ways for cities and nature to help each other, not fight? That is what we will explore today. And I want to make sure that whether you are young or grown up, you find something to think about, something you can do, and something that makes you smile. To start, let's think about why cities exist at all. Long ago, people lived in small villages or even moved from place to place, looking for food and safety. But as groups of people worked together, they built homes and shared tools. They planted farms, made things to trade, and protected each other. Villages became bigger, and soon, they turned into towns and cities. Cities give us many good things. There are schools, hospitals, markets, and places to have fun, like sports fields, movie theaters, and libraries. People can find jobs, meet friends, and invent new things. In cities, people from many backgrounds live close together, and that creates a chance to learn about other cultures and ideas. But cities also have problems. They can be noisy and crowded. The air can get dirty from all the cars and factories. Waste and garbage pile up, and finding a place to play outside can be hard. Sometimes, cities grow so much that they push away plants and animals. Trees are cut down, streams are filled in, and little by little, it can seem like there is no place left for nature. Nature, on the other hand, is not just beautiful. We need it to survive. Trees give us oxygen to breathe. Plants and animals are part of the big web of life that keeps water clean, makes the soil rich, and brings us fruits and vegetables to eat. Even the tiny worms, bees, and bacteria in the dirt are hard at work keeping the planet healthy. So, if cities are the places where people live and work, and nature is where plants and animals grow and thrive, can they really get along? Can people have all the things they need and still protect the natural world? The answer is yes, but it takes some imagination, some science, some teamwork, and some courage. Let's take a look at some stories from around the world to see how people are trying to bring cities and nature together. In Singapore, one of the busiest cities on Earth, they call themselves the Garden City. Even though there are many tall buildings and lots of people, the city has planted thousands of trees everywhere. There are gardens on top of roofs, parks that connect to each other like beads on a necklace, and even walls covered with green plants. There is a place called Gardens by the Bay, where you can find amazing tree-like towers covered with real plants. At night, they light up with beautiful colors. Why did Singapore do this? Because when cities have more trees and plants, the air is cleaner. People feel less stressed. Birds, butterflies, and small animals find homes, even in the city. When it rains, the water soaks into the ground instead of flooding the streets. In New York City, a very famous park called Central Park sits in the middle of tall buildings. People go there to walk, play, read, ride bikes, and watch animals. It is called the lungs of the city because all the trees help keep the air fresh. Parks like this give everyone a place to rest and enjoy nature, even in a busy place. Some cities are bringing nature back in surprising ways. For example, in Seoul, South Korea, there was once a busy road on top of a river called Chungcheon. The city decided to remove the road and restore the river. Now, fish and birds have come back. People walk along the water, relax, and enjoy simpler moments in nature. In Paris, France, the city plants flowers and vegetables along the streets. Kids help take care of the plants. There are even beehives on top of buildings. The bees help flowers grow and make delicious honey. People learn that nature can be part of everyday city life. In Tokyo, there are community gardens where people who live in tall buildings can plant vegetables and flowers. Even small balconies or rooftops are turned into tiny green spaces. But why do people work so hard to bring nature back into cities? Because it matters. Scientists have found that people who live near trees and green spaces are usually healthier. Their hearts are stronger. Their minds are clearer. They feel happier. Children who spend time in nature learn better and are less stressed. Nature in the city also helps fight big problems like global warming. Global warming, or climate change, means the Earth is getting hotter because of pollution, especially from cars and factories. Trees and plants help by pulling pollution out of the air. They cool the city on hot days, and they help catch rain, so there is less flooding. There is a special word for the balance between people and nature. That word is sustainability. It means living in a way that is good for people today and also good for people and plants and animals in the future. A sustainable city is a place where people live comfortable lives without hurting nature. But how do you build a sustainable city? What things do you need to think about? First, cities need green spaces, parks, forests, gardens, even tiny spots with just a few flowers. Every bit of nature helps. These places clean the air, give water a place to go, and give animals homes. Second, cities need clean ways to move around. Cars and trucks make a lot of pollution. If more people use buses, trains, bicycles, or even walk, there is less pollution and less traffic. Some cities are trying electric buses and cars that do not dirty the air. Third, cities can save energy by using sunshine and wind to make electricity. In many places, people put solar panels on roofs or set up windmills to turn the wind into power. If cities use less oil and coal, there is less smoke and fewer problems for nature. Fourth, cities can save water. This might mean fixing leaks, collecting rain in barrels, or letting rain soak into the ground instead of running off hard pavement. When we save water, there is more for plants and animals, and it helps during dry times. Fifth, cities can be clever about trash. If people recycle cans, bottles, and paper, there is less garbage. Some garbage, like food scraps, can be turned into rich dirt for gardens, called compost. The less trash we make, the cleaner our world stays. Sixth, cities need to make sure everyone can enjoy nature, not just people who live in fancy houses. Parks and gardens should be for all, and kids and families should be able to play and rest, no matter where they live. Building a sustainable city is a big challenge, but every small action helps. Sometimes, new ideas come from children. In some cities, kids clean up parks, plant trees, or build small gardens on windowsills. Some even write letters to the mayor, asking for more green spaces. Let's talk, for a moment, about animals in the city. You might think that cities are only for people, but many wild animals have learned to live alongside us. You might see pigeons, sparrows, crows, or squirrels in parks. At night, there might be bats or even sly foxes. In some places, wild deer or monkeys walk into towns from nearby forests. Why do they come? Because they are looking for food, water, and safe places to live. Sometimes this is a problem. Animals can get hurt by cars, or eat garbage and get sick. But people are finding new ways to help. In some cities, builders make animal bridges over busy roads so deer and rabbits can cross safely. Other cities plant special gardens with flowers for bees and butterflies. In Japan, some train stations have underpasses just for frogs, so they can safely cross onto the tracks. Nature is clever, but it needs a little help from us. Every time people make a little more space for plants and animals, the city becomes friendlier, cleaner, and more enjoyable for everyone. Now, let's imagine the future, maybe 20 or 50 years from now. What might sustainable cities look like? Maybe buildings are covered in green gardens, with tomatoes or strawberries growing on the walls. Rooftops hold little ponds for birds and insects. Solar panels shine in the sun, making power for lights, computers, and buses. In parks, people pick apples from city trees, or watch frogs and dragonflies at the edge of ponds. Maybe robots help gather trash and sort it for recycling. Smart computers control traffic so cars move smoothly and less pollution gets into the air. Schoolyards are full of butterflies, and every child has a chance to plant a tree or flower. But cities will still have problems. They will still be crowded. There may be new challenges from climate change, or from people moving to cities from the countryside. There might be new diseases or surprises no one can predict. What matters is that people work together and remember that nature is not something over there, it is with us, everywhere. So, what can you do, even as a child? Here are some ideas. First, Spend time in nature when you can. Go to a park, or look closely at a tree or flower by the side of the street. Listen to the birds. Watch the ants or butterflies. Let yourself notice the small wonders of the world. Second, take care of your own space. If you have a little garden, water the plants. If there is trash, pick it up and put it in a bin. If you see an insect, gently move it out of danger instead of hurting it. Remember, every tiny act helps. Third, learn about how things work. Ask questions. Where does your water come from? Where does your trash go? How does electricity get to your home? The more you know, the more you can help. Fourth, talk to your family and friends. Maybe you can plant a flower together in a pot at home. Or start a small vegetable garden. You might ask your teacher if your class can visit a park or clean up the school grounds. Fifth, use less and share more. If you do not waste food, water, or electricity, you are helping the earth. If you share, there is less waste and more happiness. Sixth, speak up. If you have ideas about making your city greener or your life healthier, share them. Write, draw, or talk about your dreams for the future. Even grown-ups listen to children who care. Let's think about water for a while. Water is something many of us take for granted, but not everyone has enough clean water. In cities, we use water for drinking, cooking, cleaning, and watering plants. But using too much water, or polluting it, is a problem. In some places, people are building gardens that clean water naturally, or using special toilets that use less water. Rain gardens are gardens that are planted in special ways to catch rainwater. Instead of letting rain run off into the streets, these gardens soak up water, feed the plants, and make the ground cooler and wetter. This helps stop flooding and keeps streams healthy. Now, let's talk about energy. Many city buildings use a lot of power for lights, computers, and heaters. Some of this energy comes from burning oil, gas, or coal, which makes pollution. If we use less energy by turning off lights that are not needed, using the sun, or making homes better at keeping heat inside, we can help limit pollution. Transportation is another big part of city life. Cars, buses, and trains help people get where they need to go, but they also make noise and make the air dirty. Cities that build good train and bus lines, safe bike paths, and nice sidewalks help everyone travel with less pollution and more exercise. When people walk or bike more, they feel healthier too. Think about food. Most of the food we eat comes from farms, sometimes very far away. But in some cities, people grow vegetables or fruits on rooftops or in empty lots. School gardens, community gardens, or even small pots on a window give people fresh food and connect them to nature. When food can be grown closer to where people live, less fuel is needed to move it, so it helps the planet too. Now, let's wonder about the waste we make. Imagine if every family in a city threw away just a little less trash. If everyone recycled bottles and cans, and turned leftover food into compost for gardens, the amount of garbage would drop a lot. That makes a huge difference in keeping land and water clean. In many cities, there are new ideas for making life better. Some plant trees along every street. Others make sure every school has a garden. Some fix leaky pipes or give out free trees to people who want to plant them. In some places, buildings must cover their roofs with plants or grass. Let's remember, not all cities are the same. In some places, people have more space and can have big gardens and parks. In other places, cities are crowded, and homes are small. Even so, every place can do something to help nature. A little garden on a balcony. A tree in front of a store. A place for birds to perch or bees to visit. Some cities face big storms, floods, or heat. Nature can help protect us. A row of trees can stop wind. A wetland or swamp can soak up rain and stop floods. Planting more green things makes cities stronger and safer. Animals need homes too. Birds build nests in trees or on buildings. Butterflies lay eggs on special plants. Bees look for flowers. If cities plant the right kinds of trees and flowers, they help these animals survive. When birds or bees do well, people do well too. Sometimes, people think that having more nature means having less space for homes or jobs. But with clever ideas, we can do both. A green roof can be full of vegetables. A busy playground can have shady trees. A bus stop can have a small garden next to it. Schools and offices can recycle. Now is a good time to think about the word balance. Imagine a seesaw at the playground. One side is city life with buildings, cars, and busy people. The other side is nature with trees, grass, and animals. If one side gets too heavy, the seesaw tips. But if both sides work together and are cared for, the balance stays, and everyone feels good. That is the challenge for the future. How can people have homes, jobs, and fun, but still save space for forests, lakes, birds, and butterflies? The answer is that we need to work together and keep trying new ideas. Let's take a little time to dream. Can you imagine a city filled with singing birds and colorful flowers? Can you picture rooftop farms, children picking strawberries, neighbors sharing apples grown on city trees? Who will invent the next great idea for helping cities and nature grow together? Maybe it will be you. People all over the world are trying different things. In Nairobi, Kenya, children plant trees to make city air cleaner. In Berlin, Germany, old train tracks are turned into wild gardens. In Melbourne, Australia, people use rain from their rooftops to water their gardens. In San Francisco, USA, buses run on clean energy from plants. Each city is different, but they share a goal: to make life better for people and for nature. This idea is called a sustainable future. Sometimes, it feels like the old ways and new ways are fighting. Should we have more trees or more houses? Should we have more roads or more parks? The truth is, we need both, but we can learn to mix them together in smart ways. Even big problems can be solved step by step. If each person takes care of their own little part, watering a plant, turning off a light, picking up trash, recycling a can, riding a bike, sharing nature with a friend, all those small actions add up. One last thing to remember is that nature is not only outside us, but also inside us. When we see a flower bloom, or watch a butterfly land, or listen to the wind in the trees, we feel connected. We remember that we are part of the great story of Earth. So, let's make a promise together. Let's look for nature wherever we live, and take care of it. Let's share what we learn with friends and family. Let's imagine new ways for cities and nature to grow side by side. When we help plants and animals, we help ourselves too. Let's remember the word sustainable. It is like a bridge that connects people, cities, and nature. Sustainable means not using up everything today, but saving and caring so everyone, now and in the future, can have clean air, fresh water, homes to live in, and nature to enjoy. The future is something we all build, step by step, together. Your ideas, your curiosity, your care make a difference. Thank you so much for joining me on today's journey, as we explored the world of cities and nature, and dreamed about a sustainable future together. I hope you go outside today, even just for a minute, and find a piece of green around you. See how even the smallest seed can grow into something wonderful if we give it a chance. Keep learning, keep caring, and keep sharing your dreams. Maybe someday, someone will say that you helped build a city where people and nature live happily side by side. Until next time, take care, and keep working for a greener, kinder world.